Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ravenport and episode 20 of our Let's Play series. So we're just on our way up to the animal dealer with our next two horses that we're going to be selling, and we'll replace those with two new ones. In the last episode we ploughed out our field 19, we extended that one. We also ploughed 14 and 15 together and got some lime spread on those. I've finished all of those fields now, they've all been ploughed. I also extended field 23 slightly and got some lime spread on that, and we've quick, that was close. Just about made it through there. That was extremely close, and I've completely gone the wrong way now because I was panicking to get through that crossing before we got clobbered by the train. I completely lost where I was. Yeah, I did say field 23 wasn't going to bother extending, but as I was doing the terraforming to iron out a few of those bumps, I thought we may as well just extend it a little bit further around the edges, so we also did that. So we're moving on Zach and Trigger, so they can be sold, and we'll replace them with I can never remember what horses we've got and what we haven't got, so we'll just go two random ones. So we've got two new horses in the trailer to go back. Yeah, so I've got a worker on field 23 planting that with oats, because we do need to get some oats into the silo for horse feed. I've also taken on a contract on field 8 harvesting cotton, which is right here in front of us. So while we're up here, we're just going to quickly jump into these two harvesters and get some workers started on these. Good thing about this contract is we can just completely leave the workers to do the entire field. What they'll do is they'll eject the bales themselves and then just carry straight on. So all we need to do then is come over, jump in the truck, take the modules down to the spinnery. So that's the first one set off, and the other one's over here. We'll quickly run over and jump into this one, get this one started as well. So get this unfolded. I do really like the cotton pickers, or Module Express, the case. They've done a really good job modelling these. Now, I'm not sure how well this one's going to work. I may have to just take off this corner first. So just cancel the worker. Just take another row of cotton off, or a few rows of cotton, and then we'll get the work started on this one as well, and then we can just leave these to get on with that. We'll get the other two horses back into the paddock, and then we're going to head up to the store and buy a planter so we can get some corn planted in field 19. So let's just reverse this back and we'll get it set off on the next lot. Let's get that lowered down and hire a worker, and we can leave him to get on with that. So I'll get the two horses back in the paddock, and then we'll head up to the store to buy our new planter. Alright then, so let's go and see Carlo and see what planters he's got for us. We're not buying any reliable motors today, so we've got planters. Definitely don't want to go for one of the small ones. I'm thinking either the Lemkin or the Vaderstad. The Maestro's a little bit bigger than what we need. It would be nice to have a 9 meter or even possibly the 12 meter one, but I don't think we need one that big. The Coon one, I think that's just far too expensive. Only 5.4 meter, and it only holds 1200 litres. So I think the Vaderstad one I'm going towards, as it's got a big capacity than the Lemkin. Well, it's only slightly more expensive, or $4,000 more. So we'll go for this one. So we'll buy that and buy the hopper to go with it. Now I think the hopper you can put either seed or fertilizer in. So I think this section takes a little bit of fertilizer and some seed. And then this one I think you can either fill it with seed or fertilizer. I don't think it takes both. But I'm not 100% sure. It does show seed and fertilizer on the menu. But I do believe you can only fit one in. I'm not sure if it does take fertilizer, but we're just going to keep it with seed anyway. I'd rather have more seed than fertilizer. So we get this on first. And then we can get the rear section on and get that folded up. Now I also think there's a slight issue with the rear section doesn't fill up from the autofill stations. So we'll buy a big bag of seed while we're here and see if we can actually fill up the rear section. So that's 560 litres in that bit, and then we'll put the rest in the front, and then we can finish topping up the front hopper box down at the farm. I've got the same issue with the 12-metre planter I bought on the Ravenport time-lapse series. I took it back to the farm originally when I first got it, and I could not get it to fill up with seed at all from the refill station, so I had to go back, redo it from the store, buy the big bags there to fill it up. So what we'll do, we'll head back to the farm and get field 19 planted with corn. Okay, so we're just coming back to the farm. This tractor does feel a little bit small. It's got more than enough power for this planter, but it does seem a little bit small and struggling a little bit with the weight on the definitely on that back section. So what we'll do, just lower that down. What I'm going to do is put some dual wheels on. Hopefully that will help a little bit. So we customize. I don't think we can put weights, dual wheels and weights, or just twin wheels. I think it is just twin wheels. We'll go for the twin wheels. Hopefully that will make it a little bit better on the handling. If not, then we might have to put the wheel weights on. So get the rear section back on. We'll get the hopper filled up while we're down here. I've got a random patch of grass where I put the seeder down after I was doing the wild grass. I didn't want to put fertiliser in. Okay, so we have got a little bit of fertiliser in there now. So the first section of the field is going to get fertilised, the rest we'll have to do with the fertiliser spreader. So that's fully topped up now with seed. And then we can go and get field 19 done. I have updated the egg pallets, the auto-load egg pallets. I've got the latest version of that now, which seems to work a lot better, and you've got the animation of it filling up, so it's easy to tell which ones are full and which ones are empty. So let's get this unfolded and get this field planted with corn. So get switched on. We want the lower the rear section, the actual planter, and away we go. So yeah, although this tractor's powerful enough for this, I do think it's probably a little bit small. The Magnum may have been the better tractor, but we've got that tied up on the field 23 doing the oats. So that's one of the reasons why I want to get a third tractor, just so we can get a few more jobs done at the same time. And getting that bigger tractor as well give us a little bit more horsepower, to make jobs a little bit easier as well. So we're also going to plant 14 and 15 with corn as well. Or as if we're going to buy a corn header, although we could do sunflowers as well. I think we'll just do both of those fields with corn for this harvest. Okay, so this is the last little bit on field 19 to do. I just gotta go around and then tidy up the edges a little bit. And there's one patch in the middle where I have to quickly just put a worker on to take over for a little bit. So just tidy this edge up. Get this finished off, and then we'll get this up onto field 14 and 15. We'll set a worker going on that one. I think we need to then go over to field 23 and just check the work. I think he's finished on that field. Now we just may need to tidy up a few areas on that one. The cotton bales are still being produced. I think the one harvester's only 13% full is the second one we set off, which was on the side that's got to do more turns, whereas the first one's got the longer runs. So I think that's the one that's coming up to 88% full, is the first one, unless it's the other way around and the one has already produced a bale. I wasn't fully keeping an eye on it, so we'll go and check up on those as well. So there's just this tiny little bit up here. We've got 75% corn left, so we shouldn't need to refill. We'll just head straight up to field 14 and 15. So there's just this last little bit here. I'm thinking we may do sunflowers in 14 and 15, just so we've got something different in the two fields. So that's that one all done. So we'll get that turned off and folded up. So I'll take this up to 14 and 15, get that set off on a worker, then we'll just nip over to field 23 and get that one finished off, and then we can get that tractor back to the farm. I have also got a couple of fertilising contracts as well that I also took out after the last episode. Whether we'll get those done, I don't know. I may send a worker over there, but I want to use the other tractor for a little bit to move a few things around the yard so we can get a new shed put in place. Okay, so we just jumped over to field 8 to check on the progress of the workers, and what I'm going to do is just stop that one there and tidy this edge up here We have got one cotton bale there that this one's produced. Really to get used to that turning. All of a sudden it just spins right the way around. So we'll just tidy this edge up where the fence line is. After that it should go all the way up to the end of the field without any issues. So we'll just do this little bit and then we'll get down to field 23, I should say. I've got the work set up now on 14 and 15. I did forget to change to sunflowers, so we are planting corn again. Just realised, even though it's only been like a minute or so since I said we'll do sunflowers, I've just realised that I'll just set the worker off without changing the actual crop type. So that should be far enough past the fence. We'll just take a little bit more off this way, and then we can head back down to that end. And then we'll reset the worker off on this one. I'll come back and get the bales when they're probably all finished, or when there's at least 2 bales on the field. So the second one's just gone up to 100% full now, so we will have 2 bales. I think in total we should get around 4, so another 2. Really can't get used to how these all of a sudden just spin right the way around. It's kind of like steering a shopping trolley. Okay, so that should be enough that the worker's not going to miss any more now. So I'll get this one set back off. Heading down the field. And then we'll go and check up on the progress on field 23. Okay, so I've set a worker back off on doing the oats. So I thought I'd just come and might as well get the first 2 modules down to the spinnery. So they're done, and then it's just whatever's left after this. The one harvester's already 50% full again. So that's the first module on. Let's get that load down. The second one's down the far end of the field. So there's still quite a lot left to do, and that one's, say, 50% full. So we could end up with 5 or 6 bales. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much extra we'll make on top of the 28,000 minus the cost to borrow the equipment. So it'll be interesting to see. Not sure what the current price on cotton actually is at the moment. But the fact that we've pretty much had to do minimal work, anything we make is a bonus after paying the wages for the workers. So as long as we come out of it with more money than we started, then I'm not going to complain. So that's the second module on. So we'll head down to the spinnery and get these 2 dropped off. Okay, so we've just gone up to the spinnery. The Cozy Wool traditional spinnery. So we just pull up here by this blue car and we can get these 2 unloaded. Not quite sure where the trigger is. I think it's just around here. I may just put the interactive markers on just so we know and dropping them in the right place. So let's just switch those on for a second. So a little bit further back So there should do. And we want to unload. So there's the first one. And there we go. So that's 31% for field 8. So 2 bales is only 31%. So that means we're going to have 7 at least. So there's another 4 bales will only be 93%. So yeah, we're going to have quite a lot more bales than I thought. Hopefully we can get that many. Not sure how much of the actual field has been harvested. So there's still quite a fair bit to do. Whether we'll get another 5 bales out to that, I'm not sure. We'll see. Hopefully the contract will complete. I don't remember having to move that many bales last time I did that particular job. And I don't know why they didn't put like a proper road coming out that rear entrance, because when you've got to get this out, you've got to reverse it out onto the road or come down these dirt tracks. So anyway, I'm going to get this back up to field 8, and then we'll check on the worker over on field 23. And so we've just got these last tiny little bits to do on this field, and that's pretty much all done. Then we'll get this back to the farmyard. So let's just lower those down and get this tiny little bit. This field's still not perfect. You can see from this angle there's quite a few lumps and bumps down in that lower section, but it was this section where it drops off. There was quite a sharp drop from where it changed elevation, so I smoothed all that out, and then we just went round the edges a little bit and just extended it a little bit more. So it's a tiny little bit here as well. Let's get that lowered down and just do this little bit, and then there's that last little bit over there, and then that's all our oats planted in this field. So all the oats we get off this, we'll just top up the horses' feed trough, and then the rest we'll just keep in the silos, so we've got some spare. So I can get all that switched off and get this back to the yard. So we do need to move the baler, the fertiliser spreader, and I think the bale wrapper as well. We need to move it out the way so we can replace that shed. Possibly the pressure washer we'll have to sell and rebuy that, because that's going to be in the way for when I fit in the shed down there with the bales in. We'll look at replacing that one in the future. For now I just want to do this one. So we're just going to drop off those there and drop that off there. We'll get these few things. I've already moved the combine out the way, so I can get this seed, the fertiliser spreader or lime spreader, get that big bag moved out the way as well. So we could just park this up somewhere. So that shed there, or the shelter, we'll leave that one as it is. That one can stay. It's handy for putting some of the equipment in that we don't want to keep locked up in a shed. I am also thinking about replacing the vehicle workshop there with a different one. Well, I haven't got it installed, or I haven't downloaded it yet. I did see one a while ago, but I didn't actually download the mod, so I'll have another look for that and see if there's any other ones as well. I've got some of the other ones I've used on some of the time-lapse maps, but I don't think they'll quite fit there. Right, so that's that moved out the way. So we need to go into the garage and sell the pressure washer, which is what they really need to do is have separate categories for vehicles and placeables would be helpful. So sell that one. That lamp post as well may need to go. I'll need to sell the shed as well. That would have been helpful. So we want this one sold. So we've got a fairly decent area there. What we're going to put in is, I'm just going to use one of the ones off the mod hub. Now I'm thinking of the 5-door machine shed, which should hopefully fit in this gap in between those two trees. So it's going to come forward a little bit more than the other one, and I'll probably bring it just level with the edge of that seed refill. So that doesn't look too bad. Looks fairly straight. So we'll get that one in. So we've got a new machine shed that we can actually store some vehicles in and lock them up. So it's quite a decent size in here, so you can get some equipment at the back of the tractors and that. You can get the baler at the back and stuff that you're not going to use very often, and then park a tractor in front. So we should easily get all our tractors, combine and future tractors and equipment into this one, and then anything else we can just leave out there, like plows or cultivators and stuff like that. So let's get our combine put away. Get the header in first, which will probably take up the one bay. We won't get the trailer on the combine in together. Well, that should do there. That fits in nicely there, so we'll open that one up and close that one. What else can we put in? We can get the baler in, and the bow wrapper can go in at the back. We'll put them at this end at the back of there. So the baler can go down in this back corner. So you still got plenty of space in front to get tractors and stuff. I know it does mean moving a tractor out if you do want to get to something that's behind it, but you've got the tractor right there in front most of the time, or your tractors are going to be out doing things, so it's like that. So we'll get the bow wrapper in next to that one. The fertiliser spreader we can keep outside, that would just go under one of the shelters. So I think our planter and the seed hopper and that can go in here at the back as well. So that's the bow wrapper in. So we do need to tidy that shelter up. There's a few herbicide pallets that we need to just tidy up a little bit. I have got I think included in the modding welt, or modding velt, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly how you say that, pack, there is a shelving unit that I think you can fit the pallets on. So we may have a look at, see if we can fit that in somewhere, just to get some of these pallets out of the way. So that can go in that shed. The spray unit, I think again we could possibly get that along the back wall in here. It's not something we're using all the time. We'll get the front tank next to that one. The weeder can stay out here. I am probably going to look at replacing the weeder for a bigger one, because we have got the smallest one. It's only 9 metre, and they're not the fastest of implements, so having a slightly bigger one will be a bit of a help when we come to do some weeding. So we'll drop that one off in there. Okay, so the work had finished on field 14 and 15 planting the corn, so we've got our Maxim back here. Also put the seeder, the planter, the seed hopper inside here, and then we've got the Magnum in here as well. So we've still got plenty of space to fit another tractor or two in here. So it's a nice new addition. So we get these closed up. Keep our tractors safe and secure now. So I've re-put the pressure washer in. Just put it down here on this corner. These doors don't open, unfortunately. It's not in the way of the door, even if you could get in. So I will look at that other mod, possibly to replace our vehicle workshop, and probably have to move the fuel tank and get that put somewhere else. The trees should be able to stay there. Should be far enough back that we're not going to cause any issues on that one. So the workers are still working away on the cotton harvest. I have taken another 2 modules down to the spinnery, so we need another 2 full modules and then 1 partial, or we'll get 2 partial ones with both combines on. More pallets, we've got 8 in storage now, another one being filled up. We've got plenty of egg pallets, so we can put these ones into here now and fill these crates up. So the good thing is, obviously now we can see when these are full, and then we'll get those into storage. Let those build up a bit before we take them to sell, which we'll have a look at. So next episode we do really need to get some hay bales, so we'll get the grass cut so we can do some hay bales. We've got the 2 fertilising contracts as well we need to do. So that's all our eggs picked up. I'll get these cleaned up as well at some point. So we are starting to progress quite well. As I say, we do want to get that 3rd tractor and have a look at that possibly in the next episode. We've got 2 more horses to sell as well, and the money from the contracts to come in. And then we can have a look at continuing to build up the farm down here and seeing where we can go with it. So if you do have any questions, comments, then please leave them down below in the comment section. And if you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. We've got new Farm Simulator 19 videos coming every day. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.